Okay, let's look at homework 37. I'm going to try and keep this as fast as possible. Let's do number 4. Y equals negative 1/2 x plus 2 squared plus 3. Remember, it's pointing down. It is fat parabola, and it is negative 2, positive 3 for the vertex. We're going to create a table, and we're going to find the vertex. We want to find the y-intercept. We want to find 2 more points. Just like before. We don't have to use a formula for the vertex like we did on standard form because it's this vertex form and the vertex is right there for us. So it's negative 2, 3 is the vertex. So we don't have to do any math for that. We just have to state it. I do want you to show me the work for the intercept because I really want to impress upon you, how do you get the intercept? Well, for the intercept, x has to be 0 no matter what if you're looking for the y-intercept. So I really want to make this in your head because later on that's going to be very important information and I want you to really remember that. So remember, you got to do what's inside the parentheses first, and then you can multiply or do exponents. 2 squared is 4. Remember, that was a negative. And then 1/2 times 4 is 2, and negative times positive is negative. And that gives you 1. So when you plug in 0, you get 1. Now, I'm not sure what 2 other points to pick right now, so we want to start our table. And I think there's a way to make this a straight line. That's not a very straight line. Nope. I'm going to erase that real quick. Oh, that was cool. Okay. So let's go back and draw. Let's go back and see if I can draw a straight line. That's better. Okay. Okay, so we have, whoops, I didn't want those. Just learning. Don't forget, if you ever do make a table freehand, you want to try your best to make it as equal as possible, which I'm not doing a very good job with. Should be as equal as possible. And with this little electronic pen, it's really difficult to do it. Okay, so let's graph. So we got negative 2, positive 3 is going to be about right there. So there's my vertex. And then 0, 1 is right there. So there's 0, 1. And my axis of symmetry, we'll do that in blue, make that a dotted line. Again, the dotted line is not the same as the dotted line in the last chapter. This dotted line is one of those dotted lines that says, like, if you fold it here. So that's what that is. Okay, so if this is 2 units, then the other point should be about 2 units. So now this gives me an idea as to what other 2 points to pick. So always pick 2 points on either the right-hand side of the axis of symmetry or pick points on the left-hand side of the axis of symmetry. So why don't we pick positive 1 and negative 1. So let's do positive 1 and let's do negative 1. So when we do positive 1. That gives me y equals negative 1/2 1 plus 2 squared. Remember, you have to do exponents first, so 3 squared is 9, and then 9 times negative 1/2 is negative 9/2. And then you have to add 3 to that. So again, there's a couple ways we can do this. We can put a 1 underneath the 3 and get common denominators, or I can change the improper fraction to a mixed number. 2 goes into 9 4 times, with 1 left over. Negative divided by positive is negative. And negative 4.5 plus 3 is negative 1.5. Okay, so when I put in 1, I get negative 1 and 1/2 out. It's very sloppy. Sorry. And then when I do the other point, right, these are my 2 more points, or 2 other points. So when I pick negative 1, right, negative 1 plus 3 is 2, and then I can do 2 squared, which is 4. 4 times negative 1/2. Then I have to multiply, which is negative 2, and negative 2 plus 3 is 1. So when I put in negative 1, I get positive 1 out. So let's graph that. So earlier, we plugged in positive 1, and we got negative 1.5 out. So that looks like that is like 3 units. So I should go 3 units the other direction. And then we also did negative 1, positive 1 is about right there. Something's funny. Oh, that doesn't make sense at all. Right? Because I already have 0, 1. Oh, because, sorry, it doesn't make sense. Because it's negative 1 is negative 1 and 1/2. That's why it doesn't make sense. There we go. And that gives me, sorry, it's so hard to draw an upside down parabola. Ugh, that's horrible. Okay. You get the idea. This isn't the best. I'm going to have to get some graph paper. So much easier to use graph paper. So we've got our x axis of symmetry. What is the equation that goes with the axis of symmetry? It's x equals, and that is negative 2. So x equals negative 2 is the axis of symmetry. It has a maximum, and the maximum height is, what's the tallest that parabola goes? And it goes up to positive 3. So you need that information, you need the equation for the axis of symmetry, and then what are your x-intercepts? And again, my x-intercepts are going to be really off because my parabola is not very good at all. So my x-intercepts appear to be maybe 1/2 comma 0. And the other one appears to be maybe negative 4.5 comma 0. So again, those are just approximations. This is a really cheesy graph. So that's what you should have for the x-intercepts. Okay.